What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Thanks for being here today. All right, y'all. Welcome back to the channel. Thanks so much for tuning in today. I shot a whole video earlier today and not realizing that for the first half of the clips, I was not in focus. So here I am reshooting it, and the second part of this video, I was in focus, so I'll jump back earlier today to share the rest of this video, but we live and we learn, right? A lot of my inspiration these days for video ideas have been coming from deep conversations I have with close friends. And a conversation I was having recently with some friends was about storytelling and about photography and how every single photo tells a story. And later in this video, I'm going to be sharing the story behind one of my favorite photos I've ever taken. I feel like with the rise of digital cameras and iPhones, I feel like sometimes photography has lost its luster and its magic, and it feels as if we can just snap away and not really even think, like take a second thought behind the photos that we're taking. I feel like the strength that like film used to have is that you didn't have unlimited photos. You had a limited amount of photos, and as I've gotten into film recently, I've realized that it actually forces you to be more creative. It forces you to think more deeper about the photos that you're taking. Not that digital and shooting digital photography and having an iPhone and snapping photos you can't be creative with that, but it's a whole lot harder to do that because you're not limited. And sometimes limitations honestly force creativity and can actually be really good. It's such a profound thing, the fact that we are story people. We've literally built our whole society, and like so much of history has been built around stories. That's where we find inspiration and motivation, and our culture, we love movies, music, even theater and the arts and painting has been around for so many years, and a lot of that comes back to story. I'm reading a book right now, Practicing the Way by John Mark Comer, and one of the things he shared the other day was really profound. The fact that we have, as humans, the ability to hold unreality in our minds, to imagine what does not yet exist, and then to bring that into reality through our bodies. This is literally what enables all human creativity, from writing a novel to painting a masterpiece to making enchiladas. For good or for bad, stories are literally a part of who we are. It was interesting, he shared that when Satan came to Eve in the garden, he didn't come with a stick, but he came with an idea. And in all honesty, that's how a lot of sin and how a lot of lies start, is through an idea and through a thought, right? And let this be an encouragement to get out there and create beautiful things that inspire and impact people, and maybe even to take a moment and pause next time you're snapping away photos on your iPhone or on your digital camera. Take a moment to pause and to remember that photo is going to tell a story 10, 20, 30 years from now. Thanks so much for sitting with me and hearing all of that. Let's jump back to earlier today when I shared the story behind one of my most favorite photos I've ever taken. So on a practical level, I want to share a little story behind a photo that I had the privilege of taking last year in the beautiful country of Guatemala. It was definitely a bucket list shot that I never dreamed of being able to capture such a photo, but I'm so grateful that I was able to do it, and the story behind it is kind of cool. My sister Susanna invited me to come along with a couple of her friends, Scott and Hannah, to the beautiful country of Guatemala. We got to hike up Mount Acatenango, which is right next to the active volcano in Guatemala called Fuego. It was one of the hardest hikes and one of the hardest physical challenges I've ever had to do. It was 5 miles, super uphill, strenuous hiking with probably almost a 40-pound backpack on, and it was extremely difficult. But once we made it up to the top, it was just such a beautiful sight. We probably saw the volcano erupt about 20 to 30 times, somewhere in there, and it was just such a beautiful sight. Once we saw it erupt, you could feel it and you could hear it, and it was unlike anything I'd ever seen. Really, from my tent in my sleeping bag, we were watching it actively erupt, and I had my tripod set up right next to me, and literally from my sleeping bag I was taking some of these photos. After we went to bed, my friend Scott ended up waking up around sunrise and ended up calling to us and being like, guys, you guys gotta get up. It's sunrise, the volcano's erupting. And so I grabbed my camera, got out there, and was able to just capture this amazing photo with beautiful the sunrise colors in the background and Fuego erupting. And it was just like, as soon as I snapped the photo, I felt like, wow, like, you just know, when you're able to get that shot, you just know. And it was just such an amazing feeling, and such an amazing memory that I'm super grateful to be able to capture such a beautiful moment, such a beautiful picture of God's creation and what He's created. You have a story to tell, and your story is valuable. And I pray that you have the boldness and the courage to be able to share those stories with those around you in your life. Thanks so much for joining the conversation today, and leave a comment, like, subscribe, all of that good stuff, and we'll see you in the next one.